Hey there, it's Joe Simons, one of the co-founders here at Salt Strong. Huge congratulations. If you're watching this video, that means there are at least a few spots left to pick up your copy of Live Bait Mastery with Captain Peter Deeks. It's going to be ending very soon. At the latest, Thursday at midnight, this thing will be completely gone, shut down. You will never be able to buy this again, so don't miss out. Get your copy today. In the meantime, enjoy these 3 tips, or really these 3 mistakes that you can avoid when you are live bait fishing, especially for those big trophy world record fish. Enjoy it.
This is Joe Simons with Salt Strong, and I'm here with Captain Peter Deeks. He's a full-time captain. He is a guy who's won a lot of money in tournaments in the past, and he's also helped guide people like you, his clients, to multiple world records. And what we're going to talk about in this video are the 3 main mistakes and kind of misconceptions that most anglers out there make when they're going after trophy fish and even state records, world records. And number 1, and this one hit me pretty hard because I've been on a lot of charter boats myself with really good captains and other stuff. And number 1 was more active live bait fishing. Let's talk about that, meaning active versus just kind of like chumming up the area and throwing a few lines out there and putting them in the rod holder.
Yeah, sure. Live bait fishing isn't lazy man's fishing or cheating fishing. It's a way to catch those uncatchable fish, the 30+ inch trout, the 45+ inch snook. It takes you to that next level, but you can't just throw it out and stick the rod in the rod holder and expect to catch a bite. The biggest mistake I see people making is they throw out a bait, stick it in the rod holder, they talk to their friends, they have a sandwich. You're not allowing the bait to look natural. You have to fish the bait, even more so than a lure. You have to make the live bait look and act like he would if he wasn't attached to a line. And that's the angler's job. And it's so funny, you see everybody using live baits and they just throw it out there and expect the fish to just ravenously eat it. And the big ones don't. The big fish are smart. You have to pay attention, you have to focus, and you have to feed lines to the bait sometimes. Sometimes you have to put a weight on there. There's many techniques, but live bait fishing is really important. You have to fish the live baits.
Yeah, it was really eye-opening just watching you how you're fishing, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, we're going to be out there and we're just going to be sitting there waiting for a thump. And
yeah,
you were more active than Luke and I sometimes when we're using artificial. It was
sure.
really cool. And and it makes sense though, because these big trophy fish, I mean, the world records, they're that big for a reason. They're smart fish.
They're smart fish.
Right? The dumb ones will come up and aggressively hit anything, but those smart fish, they want that bait to look so natural.
Right.
And there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, just thinking about, being like the bait and being like that big monster fish. What do they want to see, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of these fish are 20, 30 years old. They've seen everything. That's a long time. They know what that bait is supposed to naturally do, and if it doesn't do that, they don't want to eat it.
Yeah, and give like an example. Maybe even let's talk about even just like the hook set, right?
Sure. Okay, an example, the hook set. You have to pay attention when the fish bites. You have to know when the fish is on your bait. You can't wait for your rod to bend over. A big fish oftentimes will eat your bait and come charging at the boat. Your line stays slack, you don't know he's on there. But when that fish ate your bait, his lips are biting down on your line, your leader. So the hook is in his mouth and the line's coming out of his mouth and his lips are feeling that. Smaller fish, dumber fish, they don't care. A big trout, a big snook, a big redfish, he's gonna feel that line and he's gonna feel a little bit of the tension from the belly and the line in the water before you even know what's going on, and he's gonna spit that bait out. You don't even know you had a fish on there. But so often, I watch my clients, they're not paying attention. That fish will eat their bait, you see the line kind of move a little bit, and then he spits it out before they can set the hook. So you always have to be aware, pay attention, and focus on keeping that live bait looking natural.
All right, now here is mistake number 2. And mistake number 2 is all about matching the wrong stuff. And here's what I mean. So many anglers, according to you, when they're going after big trophy fish, they actually mess up this, and it's matching your equipment, your rod reel, your line, your hook, every single bit of the equation to the bait. And what most people do is they match it to the fish they're trying to catch, don't they?
Correct, yes. Yeah, you want to match your equipment, hook to line, to rod, to reel. Everything needs to match the bait so that you can fish the bait effectively, whether it's longer casts with smaller baits or it's being able to rip the hook out of, you know, a big mullet in order to set the hook into a big trout. So you want to match your gear to the bait you're fishing. It is so important.
All right, so Peter, like, what is the biggest mistake when it comes to not matching up the right way?
Oh, sure. Well, I see it so often in other boats or people I'm fishing around. I think it's kind of funny that people don't realize it, but they use gear that's way too big for the bait they're using. Their baits can't look natural. They don't look natural. They use 60-pound test leader, and it's weighing down their little 4-inch finger mullet. You have to keep your baits looking natural, and the only way to do that is with the proper gear.
And in some cases, you've caught, I mean, state record, world record fish on really small hooks. I mean, stuff that people wouldn't even conceive of. Because you were matching all your equipment to the bait and not just the fish.
Yes, you always have to worry about the bite first. Too many people worry about, well, how am I going to tug in this big fish with a small rod? Get the bite first and worry about that second, because without a bite, you're never going to catch a fish.
All right, this is mistake number 3 when it comes to catching those big trophy fish. And I believe you had an analogy the other day we were all kind of laughing about, but it made so much sense. And it was all about baits, right? We're not going after the elephants. The elephants eat peanuts, right? It's what?
No, we're fishing for lions. Lions eat big animals. We're fishing for trophy fish. You need to use trophy baits.
And I think you'll be shocked, and I was shocked at the size of some of these baits. And you're like, yeah, we caught the world record, the longest trout ever caught was on your boat.
Yeah.
Right? And like the things that you're using to catch these fish with is like almost mind-blowing. It's not little small white bait.
I laugh all the time. You'd be shocked at how big of a bait a trout or a redfish or a snook will eat. Trophy fish eat monster baits.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about a lot of these baits being on the bottom too. That was another thing that I learned a lot through this live bait mastery course.
Sure.
Because a lot of these bigger baits are going to go to the bottom where a lot of these bigger fish are, right?
Sure, yeah. Bigger fish, they tend to want to feed close to the bottom. They're a little lazier. They're not going to chase a little bait fish up on the surface. They want a big bait, and they usually want it close to the bottom.
So a big mistake I see a lot of people making out there with live bait is, you know, they black out their live well with 1,000, you know, white bait. And
Sure.
white bait's great. You can catch a ton of fish.
Yep.
But if you're going after trophy fish, that's not the right thing, is it?
It's not, no. I mean, that's a fun way to catch a number of fish. You can catch trophy fish. I've caught plenty of big fish on white baits, but you're not going to target big fish with that. You need to isolate the big fish from the rest of the pack. You need to use baits big enough to only catch the fish you're after.
Yeah, and the final part you said on this, which was another kind of aha moment, and it kind of goes against what a lot of people do out there, including us when we go live bait fishing, is, you know, you said I'd rather have, you know, 10 really healthy, like the best, perfect, biggest baits out there than 200 or 300 in a big live
Oh,
well.
no doubt. Health of your bait is so important. I would rather have 5 really healthy baits to put in the front of the fish that I want to catch than 100 weak, soft, small baits.
That's awesome, man. Anything else on that?
I think that's it.
Cool. Well, I hope you got something out of that, those 3 main mistakes. And earlier I had mentioned that if you stuck around to the end, you get an opportunity to get his entire course, his live bait mastery course. And we literally cover everything from everything you could possibly want to know about finding the bait and then catching it, keeping it alive and healthy, and then how to find the spots where these big boys hang out. And we talk about, you know, the big trophy fish, and we also talk about just how to catch consistent fish, how to go out there with your family and have a fun day. Then we talk about positioning. I think that's one of the most important things I've seen is positioning the boat. So you've got the bait. You've actually found a place where there are some big, you know, big fish down there.
Right.
How do you position it? How do you cast to them? How do you do active live bait fishing to them when you get it right in front of their face using the winds and the currents? And then we talk about just kind of putting the whole thing together. And it is an amazing course. It's literally his top secrets, the secrets that have helped him put his clients on world record fish. Same secrets that you use personally when you're winning, you know, tournaments.
Sure.
And really just stuff that you've never shared before. And it's all in one course called Live Bait Mastery. And here's the deal. When Peter agreed to do this, one thing that he did say was, you know what, I'm going to put this stuff out there. It's my best stuff. I've never shared this stuff ever all in one place. And I want to have the biggest, boldest, baddest guarantee out there. And so here is the deal. If you go through this live bait mastery course. And if you're not catching more fish, especially if you not feel like you're catching bigger fish, and if you don't have more confidence out there, then you don't pay a penny. So when I say that you really get to try this risk-free, you do. And it's not just for like a week or 30 days, it's 365 days. So we're going to give you access to this course, even though we might not have the enrollment for this course open very long, but once you're in, you have an entire year to go through the whole thing, and you have access to it from your phone, your tablet, your desktop, wherever you want it. And if at any point you don't feel like you got tremendous value, you don't feel like you're getting better and taking your game up a notch, you don't pay a dime.
Sure.
And I can't wait for them to see this. This is awesome stuff. I mean, Luke and I were taking notes on this. It was really, really good.
I'm 100% confident that anyone can watch this start to finish, and they can go out and expect to catch trophy fish and more numbers of fish. This isn't a gimmick. It's not a simple little how-to. This is the real deal. You can go anywhere and catch big trophy fish with live bait start to finish.
Yeah, and we try to simplify it as best as possible. I mean, we've been out here now 3 days filming this course, and we've tried to break it down in like 3 to maybe 10-minute videos, just so you can go watch them on your lunch break or even out on the boat. If you just wanted to know a very specific tip, you could click on it and watch it right then and there. There's never like hour-long videos we have to scroll through and try to find stuff. So every video has a specific topic and really just kind of one big idea, one main thing that you will learn. And so I don't know any other way to make it more risk-free except for this. This is the lowest price you will ever see it. We're going to take this down pretty soon. When we do, we will bring it back at some point. We will raise the price. That is guaranteed. The price will go up. And for right now, 365 days to go through and just make sure you're 100% thrilled, make sure your confidence is going up, and just to make sure you're going out there and finding bigger and better fish using live bait. It's every tactic you could possibly imagine to go out there and do your very best with live bait. So click down below, put your information in, and then you will get full access immediately to Peter's entire course, Live Bait Mastery.
Good luck.
Click down below now.